Hello and welcome back to Will Run 4. This is your host, Tom, and with me as always are Erin.
Hello.
Michael.
Hello.
And Diana.
Hey, hey.
Hi, gang. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
Warm and toasty. It's nice out today.
Oh, yeah. We had beautiful weather this weekend.
Yeah.
Had the windows open. We ran a 5K.
Ooh, a 5K.
Boy,
a
did
real
you.
life?
A
5K?
Real
life
life
5K this
5K.
morning. This is like one that I saw on Facebook like a month ago, and I thought to myself, well, I don't know. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't.
Yeah.
So I kind of kept my eye on it, and this week, it was funny because there was only like 80 people registered. I was like, oh, let's do it. And then all of a sudden yesterday, there's this notification that they had to close it because there was 180-something people now.
Oh, wow.
Because everyone waited till the last possible second to decide whether they wanted to do this, I guess.
Yeah.
So
well, you know how you always get that like big boom at the end of a race, like right before a race, everybody signs up. It's probably like triple that now, just because everybody's like, all right, I'll just wait till the last minute. If it goes off, I'll sign up. So now, like, instead of like the 25% of people who sign up at the end, it's probably like 50% of the people show up at the end or whatever.
Yeah, and most races are freezing prices, which I think is really nice. So, like, you don't have to decide really early if you want to save, 10 or $15.
Yeah, this was pretty cheap, and just all the proceeds went to the South Jersey Food Bank.
Yeah, this one actually was completely for charity. 100% of the registrations actually went to a food bank. So
that's awesome.
I also felt good about that, signing up for it. That even if they had decided that they weren't going to do it or that something just wasn't going to work last minute, that I felt like, well, I guess it's okay if it doesn't work out.
That's all gravy.
Because it's fully sponsored by ShopRite of Medford here. So they basically do everything in it, and then all the actual race registrations go to the food bank.
Yeah, so it was pretty nice.
This was just out on the street, like...
Yeah, it was a small town, like rural. Kind of went through the rural areas of the town. So
yeah, and they closed the streets completely.
Yeah, there was a couple like down between some farm fields and things like that. So it wasn't like a super crowded area anyway.
I think there was only one road that had some cars on it coming at us, but then that was it.
Nothing crazy. It was nice. It was they went off in segments of like 25.
Yeah.
And just spaced everybody out. I think they thought they were going to need more time than they did to get it to go off, and they were able to let loose pretty quickly.
The email originally said that they were going to do waves of 5 minutes,
which is a long time.
Everybody, there was only 25 people per wave, and we were like, there's no way. And it's a good thing that we got there when we did, because when we picked up their bibs yesterday, they told us that it was going to be like 8:40, and I think we started at like 8:22 when it started at 8:15. So I think they realized that 5-minute waves was a little ridiculous.
Yeah. It's 25 people. It's not much.
Yeah. So it was, I mean, they pretty much had people that told you there was cones set up, and they said 2 at a time, go up to the next cones. And you just kind of kept moving up along the way until you got to the start. And then they sent 2 people off at a time.
And you were running on a 2-lane road. So there was tons, even if you were in the single lane for some of it, there was tons of space. So it wasn't really too much of an issue. I think it was my 4th or 5th 5K ever.
It was my 6th 5K ever.
Yeah, it was fun. It was weird.
I've done so many 5Ks, I couldn't even tell you. I mean, there was a point where I was doing one like every weekend just because they're like, I don't know, they're fun little races and they're done.
I don't know.
True.
Yeah, we were done. That's what we were just saying, right? We were done at 9:20, and we looked at the clock and we went, we got in the car. We're like, it's 9:20, and we're done with this whole race. And now we're going to go drink a 9:30 beer.
Yeah, normally our races are like, all right, let's start at 5 a.m. And I guess we're done now at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, half dead, or it's dark out and we're going home and can't move. And this was like, oh, wow, this is really nice. Let's go have some pizza and drink some beer.
Yes. Yes, we had pizza and beer at 10 o'clock in the morning.
But yeah, I had fun. I would definitely do, like, especially now where there's not a ton of races going off, I would definitely do
More 5Ks.
more like a local 5K kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
think
I
they're
thought it
pretty
was fun.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We actually ran this weekend. Like, we ran every day this weekend, which is unusual for us. So we did 7 miles on Saturday. I did 2 yesterday. And then today we got up and we did an unofficial 5K with Charm City Run, where it was kind of show up and go out. But they did have like beer and fun stuff at the end, which was nice.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, and the run Saturday, the 7 miles, like the weather couldn't have been better.
Yeah,
Like,
it's been beautiful.
It was gorgeous, and it felt really good. And to be honest, I haven't run 7 miles since I can't tell you when. So
since pre-quarantine. And then that day, we went to Linganore in Red Shedman, Linganore Winery, Red Shedman. It's a farm. They got away from Tom. He had a situation. I don't know if you want to tell everyone about your situation.
Did your parents go away on a week's vacation?
I may have overindulged a little bit. It was beautiful. And I'll put it like this. At the end of the night, I was charged with putting our chairs in the back of Ryan's SUV. And I carry the chairs up and I put them in the back of a car. And then I get into the SUV and they're like, "Hey, Tom, where's your stuff?" And I'm like, "It's in the back." I put it in the wrong car.
Oh my God.
I don't know how it happened. It gets a little fuzzy towards the end of the night.
Does anybody else know how that happened?
I don't know. We had sent him with some stuff. He had a chair and a couple of bags, and we sent him up there. And then I walked up with my chair, the chair I was sitting in, and I gave it to Ryan as he was like loading the car. And he's like, wait, your and Tom's stuff needs to be right on top because we're dropping you off first. Where's the other chair? And Tom was like, "It's in the car, obviously." And he just started arguing that it was in the car. And then, so we unloaded everything out of it. And we're saying, there's no possible way this stuff could be in another car, could it? There's no way. So Ryan like looked in the car that was like parked right behind us and was like, "Yeah, this stuff is definitely in there," and had to open this stranger's car and just started taking stuff out of it.
Oh my gosh.
Mistakes were made.
It wasn't even the same color. I could get if it was like a similar color or even style, but wasn't the same color, wasn't the same size, totally different car.
But it was right behind it, right?
In my head, it was identical. But here's the thing. I put it in that car, and then I got in the right car.
So, but it was like right behind you that the trunks were back to back that you like put it in and turned around?
Don't try to explain it, Erin.
No, it was like parked on the side of a road.
Oh,
so that
okay.
It was a line of cars. There's no excuse for what happened.
No.
There's no excuse.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God.
It's been a while since I've gotten that silly.
Man.
And then he was convinced he lost his debit card and it was in my purse.
Oh gosh.
Oh, here's the thing. Whenever I'm in that kind of state, I don't sleep well. I did go to bed at 9 that night, woke up at 5 the next morning. So Sunday morning, I'm up at 5, and I'm like, I don't know where my debit card is.
Oh, no.
So I checked my bank account, and at 8:30 the night before, there's a charge from Taco Bell. So at least I knew it was like local. Like I didn't have to go back to the brewery. Like I was like, okay, so.
Did you remember eating Taco Bell?
Yeah. And I also remember vacuuming yesterday the shredded cheese that was on our carpet.
My God.
Erin, the night got away. Let's move past.
It was a hot mess.
Oh my God!
So,
but you managed to get up and run.
Yes, I did.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, well, I got some people to answer to. So.
Yeah.
I got to get my miles in. But before we get into any of that, I just want to plug a few things. We do have a live show that we recorded that's coming out When would that come out, Michael?
We haven't decided yet because we have a couple inside the Runner Studios. We had the one that just came out and another one. So maybe not for another month, but you can watch it on YouTube.
Yes, we're plugging the YouTube.
Yep. So please check out our YouTube and please subscribe, because if we get 50 subscribers, we can get a personalized handle.
Which makes it way easier to tell you where it is.
It won't be youtube.com/89127USLV something. It will be youtube.com/We'll Run for a Podcast.
Are you sure? Because the other one rolls off the tongue. All right. So, Michael, do we have any new Apple 5-star reviews?
Well, we have a few new, and we have to establish a rule here. We have somebody who may have circumvented the rules, but we'll accept it. So, as you may remember from 2 weeks ago, Tom was going to run 5 miles for every 5-star review. And one day, we noticed that one of our reviews had disappeared. And then miraculously reappeared by the same person.
I wonder who that was.
So we had Matt Frumpa, running, listening with friends. The show is very entertaining and on occasion educational. There are a few fun running podcasts that seem to hang around for the long run. I hope this is one of them. And that was his edited version to make Tom run 5 miles after his original one.
You know what? I'll allow it because it got the ball rolling, and I appreciate it.
I agree. So we had Crazy Runner Michelle. Great to listen to while running. Listening to the show on my runs. Listening to the podcast while running is just like running and chatting with friends. Kuafos, it was Kurt. Run, Tom, run.
That's all.
5 miles.
It's meaningful. There's a lot of meaning.
Baby Doc 78, another 5 miles for Tom. Thank you guys for being a fun way to start the week listening to you at work. And Boiler Jurors, it's a great show with a low-key vibe for runners and athletes who just want to have fun. The conversation is like a post-run happy hour or breakfast with your running crew. Now, Tom, get out and get moving for your 5 miles.
Woo, woo.
I love that.
I did too.
Yeah, I'm almost caught up. That last one I'll tackle tomorrow morning, but that last comment about the conversation being like a post-run happy hour or breakfast with your running crew, that's the best comment.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly, I think, what we're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah, so thanks everybody for the 5 stars. You all stepped up this week.
And that means
it.
that you only owe 1. So that means we got 20 miles out of Tom this past week for 5-star reviews.
Nice.
And he's going to keep going from what I heard. So keep them coming and he will keep on running.
He's got a half marathon to train for, so they're going to come in handy.
And he's got to get around the world, right? So.
Oh, yeah, and around the world.
Yeah, it's helping him do that. I was asking him, I was like, hey, is there like an end date? Or are you just going to do this for the month of September? How long are you going to do this? And he's like, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So keep them coming, guys.
No one else is volunteering to do it with them.
No, absolutely not.
I'm sure somebody can take the mantle if something happens.
I will do anything for this podcast.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Oh, my God.
So, guys, what are we running for this week?
I'm actually getting ready to head into an insanely busy week at work. So I'm running for my own mental health this week. So I definitely need to make sure that I'm making time to actually get out and do that, because I think it's going to be one of those weeks where I'm just glued to my laptop. So.
Oh, yeah. So getting out and getting a few in will be really nice.
Yeah, much needed.
Yeah, I am running for some build up to the Batona race in October if we survive the marathon this coming weekend. So yeah, got to get ready for the 55-miler second week of October. So feeling pretty good about it. I feel like I'm in a good place for it. So just want to keep getting the miles in.
I'm running for Elevation. We have, as he just mentioned, next week, this marathon that we have that's kind of part of our build up towards the Batona 55-miler. But for some reason, we decided we wanted to do a marathon that has 6,500 plus feet of elevation. So Saturday, we went out and did 3,600 feet in 10 miles. And I wanted to murder myself.
That's awesome.
I'm not sure if it was awesome or awful. It may have been a little bit of both. I'm not sure.
For me, as we've discussed, I had a heck of a weekend. So I'm running to detox. That's all I got. I'm running
Just
to detox.
Clear everything out.
Clear out these pores.
Oh, boy.
I got it. I got you.
All right. So we got some stuff coming up. We mentioned some of it. Erin, myself, and Michael are part of
Nope.
two
Michael's
running groups.
Nope.
I'm not doing
Michael's,
it.
you're not in it?
Nope.
Hell no. I don't want to log my miles every day. You guys crazy?
Okay,
No,
fine.
I feel the same way. Also, what you'll notice is Tom's not great with details. He remembers like big important things, but the details, it's just all in the wash, I think.
Guys.
I think at one point we said we'd throw Michael in if we needed a person, but
Yeah.
That's what I'm remembering. But
Yeah.
okay, so me and Erin and I are part of a group of folks that are doing this multi-sporting around the world challenge, where we're basically running 30,000 miles over 16 months. It sounds exhausting. We are in the first region, which is started at the U.S.-Mexico line, 2,500 miles. I think, what is it, the month of September we have to complete that?
we have there's no real time limit, so I think our goal is to kind of finish it within September to mid-October. About a month and a half for each region is what I think that our goal kind of is.
Well, we started September 1st, and as of today, between the two teams, we're at about 800 miles between the 20 of us. So that's pretty cool. That's a lot of miles.
Yeah, shout out to all of our listeners that are doing this with us. We have 18 people that we suckered into this with us.
Yeah.
And then you guys have the Big Sur virtual challenges coming up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why we did the 5K that we were talking about. We just kind of I did actually last time I said the wrong distances. It's a 5K, a 12K, an 11 miler, a 21 miler, and a marathon.
Yeah. So we'll get the 5K out of the way. We got that out of the way today. We have the marathon on Saturday, and we can knock off the other
Yeah,
ones,
we'll fill in the other distances because a 12K is like 7.2 or 7.45 or something like that. Some random weird number.
I've never even heard of a 12K. I've never heard of anyone doing that.
It's because of how the races run along the coast there, where you can actually start at
so
for shorter distances.
That's why there's a 21 miler too.
Yeah.
Because it's the distances of the actual Big Sur races.
So,
oh, neat.
because there's only certain places along the highway where you can start. So there's some weird distances in there. But yeah, we should knock those off in the next 2 weeks, I think.
Cool. And I think here and there's some other virtuals that we're signed up for. I'm doing my Run the Lakes challenge October 17th, the week after you guys are doing your Batona Trail race.
So that's a new date alert for everyone listening. We have moved that back.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I did mention it to a couple people for the first weekend. So if we're going to move it, I got to remember to tell those people we're moving it.
We're doing it October 17th. That's the date.
It's committed. We're staying in the Chiak Suite.
Locked in.
How do I make my reservation now?
We just need to buy more mints for your pillow.
Can you get me a kitten too while you're at it?
Not in this house. We have an old curmudgeon of a dog, though, that you can pet.
Oh, I do enjoy Archie quite a lot. Is
All
that
right.
it? That's all we got?
I think that's it.
That's all we got upcoming.
So we introduced today, as we're recording this, came out a new segment that we are calling Inside the Runner Studio. It's where we're going to spotlight you guys in our community when I put out the request for community spotlights. We got some responses, and today we were very excited to release an episode with Karate Chop as our first guest.
Karate last name, Chop.
We recorded another one, which is on its way out at some point. And if you want to be featured in one of our little mini community episodes inside the Runner Studio, please send us a message on Facebook or Instagram, or email us at willrunforpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll feature you guys, ask you some questions along the way. And that's about it.
Yeah, it's like, what?
15, 20 minutes?
Around 15 minutes or so. Yeah.
Yeah, and we actually stayed on time for the first time ever. See, we just need supervision, and then we're fine.
It's a miracle.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes. Two. There was the Karates, and then was it Angie's?
Mm-hmm.
Will be out after this episode. So.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. This is Melissa from Salem, Oregon. This week, I'm running for my own sanity as I prepare to start distance learning as a teacher and as a parent. So wish me luck. Now, here's what's happening in our Will Run For community.
So into the actual community news, we've been getting tagged all over the place. We've been restorying a lot. I think that some of our concentration will be on restorying and posting what you guys are sharing with us a little bit more. We're going to get better at that and kind of pare down this community news section a little bit more to some comments and stuff that you guys leave us. But just know that we are still paying attention to everything you guys are doing, and we really love the engagement, and we really would love you guys to continue tagging us and sharing everything you guys are doing with us. You can find us on Instagram at Will Run For Podcast and also on Facebook. And we're excited to share what kind of comments we've got this week.
Yeah, there was a lot of activity over the last couple of weeks. So I'm always really excited to see it. So Rafe on Instagram, he is thanking Mike because now he mentally refers to Karate Chop as Karate last name Chop. He's also running for croissants and coffee. And as part of a challenge team, he also chimed in on Erin's sunglasses race report. I cannot with the race report. And he says he's got the same issues with sunglasses and found that Roka Halsey's, like the singer Halsey, work best for him, but they're a little bit more expensive than Gooders. Shout out to Nicole. She ran 3.2 miles on her 32nd birthday.
Happy birthday.
Whoop, whoop. Greg in Orlando's out there as always, so he's getting miles for the multi-sport around the world, and he also completed the Goggins Challenge. So yay, Greg.
That was exhausting to watch him do on Instagram.
It really was.
Love it. And then we got a really fun video from Chris Chiak of the Games We Grew Up With podcast. He ended a run by jumping in a pool, so that was really fun. Amy C. discovered trail running while she was in Tucson. Shout out to Ryan and Ken. They completed the Rosaryville half marathon yesterday, and I know Ken took a spill, so send and love out to him. They finished, though, so love that.
Ken's on our multi-sport team also.
Oh, yeah, he gets nothing but miles. He's so active. When he's like, I'm taking a rest day, he's either biking, swimming, or like doing yoga. He doesn't take a real rest day.
That's not rest.
So we keep telling him. That's what we keep telling him. We also got a shout out from Charm City Run and the Big Sur Marathon Foundation. So we're famous, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
We're so famous. Time for a Patreon.
And Robert, he said he was thinking of me this morning because he was wearing his Under Armour running shoes. They're just not for me, guys. They're just not for me. I don't know what to tell you. And then Frumpa, who is now only known as Frumpa, said, today's safety tip is to not listen this show while you're driving to work, or you may laugh too hard, and that's not good while you're driving.
Safety first.
Safety first.
Thanks, guys, for sharing everything. Like you said, we probably missed some stuff, but we made sure that we restoried it. I know that we had something from Megan, as we usually do, where she tagged us, and Melissa, who always tags us. But we're trying to pare this down, like I said, and don't think that we don't love you if we don't mention you on the pod. We do love all of your feedback.
Oh, we love all of you.
Y'all ready for the main topic?
Yeah.
Are we? I don't know if I'm
teasing
ever
it.
ready for this.
All right. We've been teasing it. We've been talking about it. But our topic for today is chafing.
It's so funny. When we started talking about doing a podcast, this was the first show topic we picked, I think.
true,
We were all
yeah.
like, it would be really funny if we did a whole episode just on chafing.
I feel like it's just one of those real, like, everyone chafes at some point, although I just found out that somebody has never chafed, but if that's possible, I didn't know that. And then last week we dove really deep into the lube. And so
Bomb.
Oh, speaking of lube, I actually took your advice and I tried the squirrel's nut butter. So I ordered some.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was a little too expensive.
What size?
I don't know, like 5 ounce. The price I paid for it, I thought the container was going to be twice as big.
it lasts a while. You don't need a lot of it. Did you try it?
I did try it. It worked really well. I didn't like it. It is like, I see what you mean. It's almost like, I don't know if greasier is the right word
or something about it. Like, and so it stays for
It stays
a while.
like longer.
Although, like, it does smell differently. It smells like food because I don't know. It felt like I was lathering Crisco on my body and like about to jump in the oven. So there was that. But also, I was like, Archie came into the room while I was doing it and kept trying to eat it. So
the cat's trying to eat it too.
I didn't hear that. That's gross.
It smells like coconut butter, or like that's what it reminds me of, like some kind of like.
It definitely smells nutty. Like it smells.
Smells like nutty butter.
Like not like peanut butter. I mean, a little like peanut butter.
Oh,
and for anybody, they do make a vegan one for people who don't use.
That is
stuff,
true.
So.
And they make something called Hoppy Toes.
All right, just disclaimer: we do not work for Squirrel Nut Butter, despite Erin's constant crusade to make everybody try this product. We do not work for them.
No, I liked it, but I can see how you could use it. Like I bought the tub, just like the tub of Crisco for my body that I so I bought that, but I could see like I wanted also the stick. So,
yeah, the stick is what I use a lot.
So I feel like I need
under
both.
the arms and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so how do we tackle this topic?
Well, I
Go ahead.
feel like Diana. I've been waiting for a very long time to hear Diana's story about her worst chafing experience. So why don't we start with our worst experiences?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting because we reached out to the community and asked them to share what their own running stories were. And at least 6 people said, well, are you going to tell your story? And their chafing story was like my chafing story because I think people talk about it.
Well, I feel like
how bad it was.
That's how he is with the stigmata nipples that he saw. Like someone else's story is sometimes your worst story to share because that's like what you think of when you think of chafing.
God. So my worst chafing story, it was at Soul of the City. I think it was my first Soul of the City, which is a 10K in Baltimore. And I've mentioned this before. Big girl running pants are sometimes a problem. And this was actually the first time my pants actually split.
Oh.
So this is the reason I have to thoroughly examine every pair of pants I put on. I stretch it out. I tug just to see what the structural integrity of the stitches are because it burst open like a can of biscuits is what happened to my thigh. It was like cinnamon rolls on Christmas morning.
Like the Pillsbury rolls where you have to pop.
Yeah. Yes.
Is anybody else hungry now?
So I was running, and I don't even know at what point it happened, but all of a sudden I started feeling uncomfortable. Like I felt rubbing, but I was actually going for a PR, and I didn't really want to stop at all. So I just kept running, and I kind of reached out, and I felt like it didn't feel like it was a huge hole, and just kept running. It was hurting, but I was on adrenaline, so I feel like it didn't hurt as bad as maybe it should have, because I was so focused on finishing the race. And I remember passing my friend Nikki, who was running with her mom, and they said they could see the hole in my pants when I passed them.
Oh, God.
That's how bad it was. So
it was like between your legs?
it was like the seam of my pants.
Okay.
Split.
Like inside the inside seam.
The
Like,
inside
okay.
seam of my pants
Okay.
from all the friction of my thighs rubbing together. And then they continued to rub. And it like split almost like the crotch portion of the pants. So like there was no stopping it. By the time I finished the race, it hurt so bad. I stopped and I looked down. The hole in my pants was at least 6 inches.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
It was miserable. So I could barely pull my pants down. So I had to go immediately into the Charm City Run store that was at the finish line. Luckily it was there, and buy a new pair of pants because I was doing a second race that day.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So it was pretty bad. The chafing was bad.
Oh.
I didn't have anything to put on it. So I was like, well, if I just put like pants on, I'll be fine.
Oh God.
So I put new pants just over the chafe without like a bandage, without wrapping it. And then I proceeded to go to this beer run in Annapolis where I got, I don't know, one of the drunkest I've ever been, like during a race, because it was a 5K course, but they had just beer stops. So you just stop and you drink beer while you were going.
So you didn't feel it at that point.
So it didn't hurt anymore. What did hurt was when I went to the porta potty to pee and had to pull down my pants. In the fibers of my pants were stuck in the open wound between my legs. And then that night when I got home, I took a shower and I literally cried. It hurt so bad.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine.
It looked like a 3rd-degree burn.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital. So it was at least a 6-inch, I don't know, 3-4 inches wide.
Oh my god.
All the way in my inner thigh, and I swear it went right onto my butt cheek. Like that's how like high and inconvenient it
Oh
was.
my gosh.
It was
How long
so bad.
did that take to heal?
Months. I remember like texting like one of my girlfriends and just saying, I think I'm just never going to have sex again based on the placement of this shape. Like people are not going to understand what's happening.
Oh my god. Amazing.
So then it gets worse. So then it gets worse.
That's worse.
So then this is like Saturday. So like I'd wrapped it up, I put a bandage, and I basically had to use like medical tape. Like I had to get out a first aid kit to tend to this. I should have gone to the hospital because it was legit a burn. But I wore that day to work. I'd gone to the office and it was like springtime. So I was wearing like really light colored khakis, and you know exactly where this is going. So all of a sudden at about 10 a.m., I looked down at my pants and the chafe was like ooze pussing through my pants.
Oh my god.
I hope our listeners are listening to this over their breakfasts, lunches, or dinners.
So then I had to go in and explain to my boss why I had to leave work. Because
oh my god.
and it was the exact shape of the chafe.
What did you say to him? Like, I'm sorry, I need to leave work because my chafe is pussing everywhere.
Well, luckily I was reporting to a woman.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember just saying, well, I have to leave because I have like a situation from my run. I'm like chafing and I think it's bleeding and I don't know what it's doing, but I have to leave. She was like, what do you mean? And I remember like kind of just like opening my knee
Oh my God.
in her office. This was like 5 years ago.
Do you know she probably still tells that story? She probably tells that story. There was this girl that I used to work with. She was my employee. She came into my office one day. I was like, I have a situation. And she just opened her legs and I just saw pus coming out of her.
It was so good. It took months to heal. And it's still like, I'm basically scarred. I needed to go to the emergency room. It's like a problem. I remember just putting like Neosporin on it and it was like I had, I don't know, surgery or something. It was like I was changing my dressing wounds. I had to change like the bandages once, sometimes twice a day.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
That's horrible.
That was the whole reason why I wanted to do this episode, just so I can hear the story, guys. Nobody can top this. This is about as good as it gets. We're done.
That's a rough one.
I do have a photo of it's zoomed in, so you can't like tell where it is on my body really, but you could see how big it is.
So we should use that as our episode title.
I don't think anyone wants to see it.
Oh man!
And it was like that was even like when it wasn't fresh. Like it looks bad. It looks like a bad burn, but like I don't know when I took it because it doesn't look the worst it ever looked in it.
Oh my God!
Wow.
I think it was right when I first started dating Tom.
Yeah, it was. It absolutely was, because I remember because I was in Baltimore with some friends at like some Taste of Baltimore where you go around and you sample a bunch of food.
Mm-hmm.
And her run basically ran around the building that I was in, and she texted me a picture of it.
Oh my God!
And I'm like, I don't know how to respond. This is the grossest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And you're about to go do a beer run. So
and you guys were just starting to date at that point?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd been dating like a month maybe.
Wow.
Like we were like
it was early.
And
yeah.
she sent you this picture and you didn't run.
I don't even think we were like official like boyfriend girlfriend yet. Like we just like hung out a few times.
And this didn't make you go,
It did make me question her judgment, but she was also into me. So like I can't like fault her for making bad decisions because I was one of them at the time.
And then you continued to want to run after she showed you her chafing. It's impressive.
Yeah. So that's my worst chafing story. So now it's so funny. I'm so scared. Even if I examine my pants, that my pants are going to split. I basically put Body Glide or this morning Squirrel's Nut Butter down to my knees because I'm so scared that even if my pants are up, I need to have something there.
Well, that's why I like the stick. Just so, since we were talking about that, the stick is really good because I do the same thing. That's where I probably squirrels the most is from that thigh area down to like most of the way down to my knee.
You rub the stick.
Yeah, I rub the stick on my thigh. Yes, I rub the stick on my thigh. Oh my God.
I don't know. I just think girls like, and we'll get to you boys in a second, but just women just chafe in the weirdest spots. And I know, Erin, you were talking about like the bra chafing a little bit last episode, which is awful.
I feel like, so I'm not a big topped girl, so I know that like a lot of women who have larger breasts also like say that a lot, like that that whole area gets chafed and and I haven't really had that many problems. I was just saying right as this episode was starting, I've been chafing in like places I've never chafed before, and I'm not sure why, or if like the bras are changing, or because I did just buy a bunch of new sports bras. So I'm not sure if they're different in some way that it just, but yes, so I've been having to make sure to Squirrel's Nut Butter right underneath the bra spot right there. And then on the side of my legs, I've been getting it where the seams to the pockets are. So now I have to because I've been trying to find shorts that have good pockets. And I guess the way, if you have your phone, in your pocket, it adds weight. So it's rubbing this, making the seam rub differently. So now I have to like use the stick on the inside and the outside of my legs. And
no, it's just everywhere. Like I have
everywhere.
to do it. I have to do it all around my body, like where my bra line touches. It's really bad, like right in the middle of like my chest. Like that's kind of like the worst spot. But just like even like recently, I don't know, like it just weird, like my little back fat that I have, like I will chafe under that. So I have to like lift my love handle up and then like lube under that to make sure like that doesn't chafe. It's gotten really bad. And then I always do my arms because I never know like what will bother my arms when I'm running or not.
So that's my worst chafe story for me, is that's actually how I learned about Body Glide / making sure you're lubing everything up, was that I went out for a run and like, you know, I've just never had tight like underarms. Like, I don't really know. They flab a little, whatever. I'm not like a big girl, but I like, you know, everyone has those things that like on their body. And that just happens to be one of mine, is that my triceps area has never been like tight. So it like rubs a lot against my, like, I guess, side a lot. And so I didn't know that this was a thing. And so I could feel, and you mentioned it, like you feel something's wrong, but it doesn't seem that bad in the moment. And I still think that to this day, because even last week when I had that stuff on the side of my leg, I was like, oh, it's not that bad. And then I got in the shower and it was like really bad. So I guess I could feel something rubbing and I was like, oh, it's a little red. It's not that big a deal. And I kept going. And I think it was one of my very first like long runs where I was doing like 8 miles, just more than I think it was when I was training for my first half marathon, and it was my first ever 8 miler. And at like mile 5, it started bothering me and I'm like, oh, it's not that big a deal. And I just kept going. Well, it turned out it was a really big deal, because not only did my underarm chafe, but like where the bra and the arm, or it comes underneath your arm. So because the arm was rubbing against that bra section, so I had a gash, and it probably wasn't as bad as your leg, but like it was the kind where like you could see when you looked in the mirror, like chunks of skin were missing.
Oh no.
And it was like under my arm where like you put deodorant and stuff, like in that really sensitive area. And it was just chunks of skin and stuff missing. And I didn't understand how it happened.
You can't even put like a bandage there.
No, it was awful. So that's my worst story. And that's how I learned that you have to like make sure even your underarms and like that little bit of skin underneath is covered.
Well, even like my forearms, I wore for the first time like a tutu to a race. I don't know if it was at Disney or like what I was doing, but I was wearing a tutu for a race. In the whole race, the crinoline from the tutu was like rubbing your arms. That's why I switched to sparkle skirts, because like the tutu was rubbing my arm and it was like red after the race.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know. I remember like the first time I chafed my nipples, kind of like it was real light, you know, when I first started running longer.
No bloody nipples?
No, they didn't get bloody, but I remember the first time like where it kind of happened. It was probably as I was building up for my first half or whatever, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? Why does this start happening? Like, so I learned that lesson. And
this is a thing that happens?
Yeah, and then when I think it was when I was training for Disney, because it was cold out, and so I was obviously running longer then. Used to run commando a lot, and without
Tom's face.
Oh my!
Without
go on.
Without netting, because now all my shorts have netting, so obviously there's no need. They're like swim trunks essentially, but they're running shorts. But regardless, anyway, so run commando because airflow and get it going and all. But it was probably chilly out. It was probably in the teens, and but it's cold out. Things retreat.
Tom's face.
So I did I don't know, probably, I don't know what the distance, but it was over 10 miles, probably 10 to 13 miles or something like that. And when I got home, I went to take let's use real terminology. I went to urinate. And I was like, dear God, what is that pain? And I had, I had chafed the entire top of my personhood
Oh,
thing.
wow.
And it was chafed really good. It wasn't bleeding or anything, but it was chafed like enough because it was so cold out. The shorts were moving, and that was not moving with it because it was cold out, and I was running commando. And
I can tell you in his face now.
and my God, it was like it was I didn't feel it until I stopped to use the restroom, and then I almost wanted to die because it was very, very painful for a few days, and then it went away. But I learned that lesson and resolved that issue and never had it again, thank God. But I think like everybody, I've had you get the taint chafe. People get the taint chafe.
I think that's pretty common.
That's a pretty common one. It's something like I know I would recommend buying a separate stick for that area because you don't want to like stick that area and then stick your other areas. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Just the worst. Well, and I think like I was just saying this morning because some guy was like peeing on the side of the road, and I was saying I'm always so jealous of men because they can like pull their pants down and just not have to readjust anything. I will not pee during a race because it's going to be too much of a situation to pull my pants back up because you're sweating and you're not going to go on right. And I was like, this is how I'm going to end up chafing, is because now the pants were in like the perfect spot and I'm never going to get them there again.
Yeah.
Well, I've definitely had chafe because of that. And even yesterday I was having some problems because I overhydrated before because we had done a really long the elevation run the day before when we were going out yesterday. So I had overhydrated and I thought I was good, but then halfway through our run, there was a porta potty. I was like, I gotta go. So I went to porta potty in the soccer field that we ran by. And I knew as soon as like I went to the bathroom, I'm like, oh man, I was sweaty enough. I actually didn't think I was that sweaty until I went to go put it all back to where it belongs. And I'm like, ugh, this is going to suck from here on out because nothing went back exactly where it was. And so now I'm at risk of the chafe. So I kept rearranging as we were running a little bit to like make sure the seams were not rubbing incorrectly. So I'm like, just move my shorts a little so that one spot's not continuing to rub and then over and over.
Just the worst.
Just readjust.
Let me think. I guess my example for chafing, it's a bit of a potpourri because I've definitely chafed in all the normal spots. I try my best to completely coat myself in Body Glide. Definitely the inner thighs. I have some ample man boobs, so I like to get up under that shelf. I like to get the nips. But I remember when I was training for, was it my first half marathon? I was running a lot in the summer because it was wine and dine that I was training for. And it was at a time when I was either on the treadmill or outside almost every single day. And I neglected the bottoms of my feet.
Yeah.
Which is running 101. And I think when you get into running or get into anything where you're moving constantly a lot, like you learn little lessons. And that's a lesson that I learned because I tore up the bottoms of my feet. I had to get moleskin and basically cover the bottoms of my feet and like top of my toes. And yeah, that was a very painful lesson. I remember being on vacation at the beach, not being able to walk because of how raw the bottoms of my feet were. I had blisters. It was gross. But I also, again, you graduate, you learn things. I had been running in just like boxer shorts under my shorts.
Just ridiculous.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
And I mean, first off, I refer to his running underwear as his running panties, which he does not appreciate.
That's what I was getting to.
You're stealing his thunder.
And no, it still happens to this day where we'll go out and he's like, I wore the wrong underwear.
Boxers are dangerous.
Yeah, I have, running underwear, which she delightfully calls my running panties. And they work, and I will swear by them. Like, you got to wear the right things if you're going to go out. You have to.
Keep that stuff packed away tight.
So have you ever had Michael problems with your manhood?
No, because I don't go commando. Like,
I feel like boxers.
Well, that's why I
that
was
issue
wondering
also.
whether the boxers ever caused that kind of.
I think that was mostly because it was so cold out.
Yeah. I think, boxers definitely rub like right kind of where where your waist is. You know, they just sit there and they just, bad news bears. But now that I got my running panties and I got my Body Glide, and I have not chafed in a long time anything substantial. So knock on wood, let's keep that going.
Me either, thankfully. I did get a little bit in my arms on Saturday because I was wearing my vest, but I was wearing a sleeveless shirt. So my inside of my arm was hitting the vest, and I never wear a sleeveless shirt when I wear my vest. I happened to for the first time ever. And I noticed it after our first loop, and I was like, oh, Christ. Thankfully, we were going.
That's
we were
my
looping.
fear of the vest.
I think that's my problem, though. Not the vest. It's not the vest,
though,
but it's the sports bra that's like right on the side there. For whatever reason, the way that this comes down, the underarm stuff comes down, it just rubs on that side regularly. And so that's like one of my biggest problem areas is I always get it like right on under the arm, and where the sports bra is under the arm.
I think the medical term for that is chicken wing.
Okay, so I got a chicken wing. See my chicken wing?
Where your chicken wing is rubbing.
My chicken wing.
Yeah.
I get that.
Well, we were looping, so I was able to stop at the car, and I always carry squirrels anyway, pretty much all the time.
Yes, because as we know, since I told you all the sizes, there's a 0.5 ounce size. So it's this tiny little thing that we can carry with us.
That one is 1950.
It is not. It is not.
No, I will say it's more expensive.
It wasn't that expensive, but I thought.
Well, the little ones is like $5. So for
It's
what you're
definitely
getting,
more expensive than the other.
I agree, but it's more. I feel like it's more natural. It works better for me. So sometimes you got to pay what you got to pay to.
I use Body Glide. I don't mind it, but I bought some Body Glide at the REI garage sale a while back. It was like had a cracked cap, so it was like $1.
Yeah, we were talking about Body Glide for her last week. It's funny that he mentioned that because it's a yellow bottle because it's for biking. Because apparently Body Glide again makes different ones for different things so that they can change the price point. But when you look at the ingredients, it's exactly the same. So guys, just be careful when you're buying certain things. Just look at the prices and look at the bottle and make sure what they are.
Yeah, to get the cheaper one.
Just buy the blue bottle. Always buy the blue bottle of Body Glide.
Yeah. It's funny. Jim Gaffigan has a bit. He's a comedian. He has a bit about Mexican food and how when they were going to sell Mexican food to the Americans, they just take 5 ingredients and repackage it 15 times. And it's like, this is a taco. This is a burrito. This is a quesadilla. He's like, the Americans will never know. I feel like
that's what Body Glide did.
I feel like Body Glide's doing a little bit of that.
It's funny.
This is very true. We did have some feedback for our chafing. Some input. Yeah. We had Ryan Runs Disney. He's currently afraid he jinxed himself because he declared he has never chafed or had toenail issues.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Good luck. Good luck, bro.
Who also had commented that at one point was my friend Lynn.
And now she's chafed, right?
No, I don't think she has. That was her comment that she had to look up what chafing even was when she was running with a few of us and we were talking about it. She went home and looked up what chafing was because she'd never heard of it. What?
God.
Or she used the Leslie Decatur, my mom terminology of crotch rot.
Oh God. S Donovan 2007 on Instagram. His was during the last Disneyland half. Her. Oh, sorry. I did not look at the profile. Hers
That's
was
Stephanie.
Oh, there you go. Hers was during the last Disneyland half. It was hot, humid. They didn't offer cooling towels until mile 11, and everything was chafed.
Oh no.
It's me, FSJ. Wore ill-fitting shorts during a half.
That's
And
Jay Hall.
oh, that's J Hall. Okay, and she learned not to try new things during.
No,
Yes.
yeah, that's another thing.
New clothes. Yeah, I agree. Right.
Yeah, new clothes. And I'm really bad because, especially at the Disney races, I'll wear like a ridiculous costume. And they say, even if it is a ridiculous costume, like you should still like practice, like just run around the neighborhood. I never do.
I never do
Not
either.
once have I ever done that.
I've never done that either. I've actually, like, we've ordered shirts, like, where from Brittany or somebody will get them shipped to them and then we'll bring them all to the race and we'll all just and distribute them. And so, the tag is still on it and it's never even been washed and I'm just wearing it because that's what's happening.
Yeah. And that's how you chafe.
Oh my God. By the way, I am noticing that, like me, everybody thinks chafing has 2 F's.
Oh, is that not how it's spelled?
Apparently not, but I swore it was.
It has one. It has one F.
I was
Chafing?
gonna say, would you like me to Google this right now? Because
I feel like we need to add an F to it.
I can barely read, so I don't know how you're going to expect me to spell something.
All right, Sarah Lupian. The weekend of my second marathon, the things I bought for the shower were a sea salt face scrub and sea salt body scrub because I forgot chafing was a thing. Dear God, that sounds...
It sounds awful.
That sounds
Also,
awful.
Sarah, she's one of the hosts, and I think they finally stopped doing it, but she was on the Not Real Runners podcast, which I loved, and they just have the best, most hilarious stories, and I just love her to death, and I can just picture her in the shower with salt.
Yes, that sounds terrifying, actually.
Oh gosh.
Like, normally I would like that, but not after.
And I'm just thinking, like, when I get in the shower without the salt, like the other day I had a paper cut and I accidentally got a little salt in it when I was cooking. Like, to be in a shower with a full salt, like, oh gosh. Nope.
Oh my God. Oh, this sounds like a rough chafing one. Andre Watson, not being able to wipe properly for a week was a fun time.
Oh, sand.
Sounds like sand was the issue. That'll do it. Yeah, sand is bad.
I've
gotten
that
on the beach pretty regularly. So.
Yeah, in my toes. That's how I get. That's the most common way I get blisters.
And also, the trails we run on are very sandy a lot of times, so we get that issue. Yeah. Keep your socks clean. Wear some gaiters, things like that. Let's see. Matt Edmonds. I ran 10 miles in a shirt that sanded my nipples down to sad scabs.
Oh my gosh.
It's like everyone.
Stigmata nipples.
Oh, man.
Nipples. Yeah, and then Ryan yesterday did a half marathon and lost his bandages and chafed and sent us a photo.
Oh.
I asked him, how'd the race go? And immediately I got back a bloody nipple shirt photo.
Oh my God.
Oh, gosh.
And isn't it because he thought he was second guessing himself? He was like, I swear I put something on, and
it wasn't
his girlfriend. His girlfriend was like, no, I watched you put them on. I don't know what happened.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So they're somewhere on a trail.
Oh man, that's rough.
I think everyone has just had a really terrible chafing story. So hopefully our stories will help you guys.
Yes.
Even if it's just to laugh at our ridiculousness, but
and learn.
I mean, I was going to say that the thing that you need to take away from this is just to make sure that if you can, just if it's a body part that's going to rub up against something else, just go ahead and throw some anti-chafe balm as Tom.
Out, lube it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I keep getting the look every single time I talk about lube, so I was trying to use Tom's word of balm. We're gonna just balm it up. Got anything else to add to this, Tom? You keep giving a look.
I mean, what I'll say is how your clothes are going to fit and how your clothes are going to be at the end of a run are not the same as they are at the beginning of a run. You may sweat a lot. Your shirt may be saturated and be heavier. Like things move, like you got to prepare accordingly. And when in doubt, balm it up.
He's so politically correct about his terminology.
Make sure you balm that team.
All right, and on that note, I think we'll end it there.
Oh God.
So we're gonna go to the results from the Tussling with Tom, which had Diana tussling with Tom about Harry Potter and whether or not he should have ended up with Hermione. So we had issues with our Facebook poll this week. I'm not really sure what happened, but Facebook would not let me or Tom post a poll. So it was all on IG this week. But we did get a pretty good response with 21 votes.
Yeah, this is a hot topic.
A hot topic, which is kind of why I was
yeah.
sad that our poll on Facebook didn't work, because I think we would have gotten the most results we've ever gotten. But we had 76% of the people who said no and 24 said yes. For a while, it was like only one person had said yes.
All right, listen, guys. You were judging the overall concept, not how well I was able to debate my position.
Fair point.
It's like Dancing with the Stars. Obviously, this is a popularity contest, and you like Tom more. I get that feedback a lot.
Well, in her defense, the tussle was, should he have ended up with Hermione? And a lot of people just came out of the woodwork and said who else he should have ended up with. It was kind of like a yes or no question.
Well, your argument alone was he should have ended up with Joe.
All right, here's the thing, Erin.
That was one of your arguments. So people were...
I said, or anyone else other than Jenny. I said, I was pro Cho, but I was like, anyone else other than Ginny. That was my argument.
Okay.
I thought it was really good. And I don't know, it's always fun to pick, Harry Potter topics could be so broad, and there's so many of these random fan theories around. And even if you don't necessarily agree, it's fun to argue on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Although I am very much a Hermione and Harry shipper, so that was personal.
I'm not on the same boat as you, but that's okay. Megan said that Tom was very brave for taking on Diana talking about Harry Potter.
I was ill prepared.
You didn't know what you were in for.
Yeah.
Kate said that she doesn't think that Harry and Hermione should have been together, but doesn't think Hermione and Ron should have been together either. Now, that was not something we debated, but I 100% agree.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think
Super
if the
fair.
question was, should Hermione have ended up with Ron, it would have been 100% no.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
I'm not sure if anybody... We should put that out there. Does anyone actually think Hermione should have ended up with Ron?
Yeah, I think that's a fair question. to
Yeah,
ask.
we'll ask that as our next poll question.
We'll throw that up
We'll
there.
throw that out there.
Yeah.
See what people say.
Yeah, apparently we're going to be all Potter all the time.
Angie and Matt Frumpa all were advocating, here's what Tom was talking about, for Harry and Luna. Now, I know that that's also a very popular one out there.
Yeah, people like that one.
And it was discussed heavily in another group that I'm in, where a guy, Ian, sent a message on our Instagram wanting to know what sickos say yes to Harry and Hermione being together.
Ian, host of Movies That Changed My Life, IMDb.
It's so funny. Is Ian
He is a
Ron
Potterhead.
and Hermione? Or is he
So here's the thing, right? I tried to start some podcast wars this week. So I am actually a Patreon to 70mm, and I sent a screenshot because Ian sent this, what sickos say yes to this. So I sent a screenshot where one of our listeners, Mikey P, put yes, and at that time he was the only.
Oh, that's right. Mikey P was the only yes. Yeah,
and he was the only one. So I sent a screenshot that had Ian and Mikey P's yes and no right next to each other, and I sent that to that group so that I could stir the pot a little in that chat. And
Stir the pot.
It started a very heated debate. Let me tell you, for my first real contribution to that Patreon group,
I love it.
I thought it was hilarious.
I love it. Like,
so then they challenged you, Diana, to pay $4 and come over there to debate Ian. So we never found out what Ian thinks or who Ian thinks he should, she and he should be, because you didn't take the challenge.
I mean, that's a little too rich for my blood. Also, it was like in the middle of a work day.
It was. Yeah.
I know.
I was like, I'm actually like trying to work, but it's funny because the Harry and Luna, that is like one of the most popular. Because he took her to Slughorn Party
and just the way they connect it. Yeah, the way they connect it at the end.
Yeah, I feel like he was one of the only people who ever treated her like a person.
Yeah.
And didn't think she was weird, and all her quirks. He accepted all of her quirks for what they were.
Well, because he understood them, because he saw a lot of the things that she saw. So kind of understood it.
Yeah. It's so funny because I'm in my yearly reread, and right before this, when I was at the pool today, I was reading the chapter where Harry and Jo have their first kiss.
Oh.
Butterflies immediately.
Butterflies.
Is that because that's who you would choose for him? Are you getting butterflies?
Okay, let's move on from this tussle. But it was a good one.
Yes, it was. And so this week we're gonna move on because we don't really.
We did do a game though on the live show.
Yes,
we did the letterbox game where I gave reviews and they had to guess the movie.
That was really fun.
I thought that was pretty fun. If you can guess any of those movies, good luck to you. It is on the live show.
Is Jared
YouTube.
Putting his feet on anyone this week?
Jared puts his feet on someone and they get a bad review. So there you go.
Yes.
Yeah, some of the over the weekend I was reading some of the Mulan for
God.
Mulan on Disney Plus. And some of the reviews where I was like, oh, Michael should use these for the next time we play that game because they're that absurd.
Yes, there's
the one that I sent to the three of you where like it just was this guy ranting about absolutely nothing because he hadn't even seen the movie. And you're like, why are you even writing a review?
It's the best. The internet is both the best and worst of all things.
It's true.
It is true.
I had an idea for another podcast. I'd call it In the Comments.
Oh my God.
And basically we would just come up with a topic and find Facebook comments.
Oh my God.
And just share, because I feel like that would be very entertaining.
It would be.
That would devolve into something crazy for sure.
It would.
Well, we've all established that the comment section is pretty rough, but why don't we talk about what's good?
Yeah.
Let's do good.
Yeah, let's do something good. I did not put one down. However, we started this week watching the Harry Potter films from the beginning, and we got through 2 of them. I forget how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an interesting experience watching those movies with Diana, who reads the books every year. Because, and I've read all the books, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
There's so much more detail in the books.
Mm-hmm.
And Diana will be like, oh, remember this scene where this happens? And, like, she just knows so much more than me about the Harry Potter fandom. But those movies are really good. So if you want to throw back, if you want to throw back, go watch Harry Potter. It's awesome.
There you go.
They get better and better, except for one. That's what I forget how many. There's 8 movies because there's 7 books.
Yeah.
So the 6th movie, I think it would have been. Yeah.
I don't know. I hate the 3rd. Let's not get into that because that'll just be a thing. That's its own topic.
Gosh.
Oh man.
I think that Diana and I could probably talk about Harry Potter forever. Okay, anyway, Michael, what's your something good?
Little thing called High Score on Netflix. It's a 6-part series on video games, the history of video games. Very good so far. We're like 3 into it. Really loving it. Definitely check it out.
Oh, nice. That reminds me of games we grew up with.
Yeah.
So they should check that out. My something good this week is we actually watched a documentary on the Go-Go's that was on Showtime. I knew nothing about the Go-Go's. It was phenomenal. They're so fun. And then we watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and one of the girls from the Go-Go plays Joan of Arc, and it blew my mind.
Oh, that's
I
funny.
would never have recognized her if it wasn't like 2 days later. So
Was it Jane Weedland?
yes.
The original Bill and Ted, I assume.
Oh, yep, the original Bill and Ted. We haven't watched the new one. But that was really good, and it'll just put you in the mood. So I just re-downloaded all of the Go-Go's, and most of their songs are really great running songs.
They're bops.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you need a good running playlist, the Go-Go's in and watch the documentary because they're really cool chicks.
Where was the Go-Go's documentary?
I think it was on Showtime.
Showtime.
I saw the Go-Go's
It's just called the Go-Go's.
I saw them live at Great Adventure.
Oh, you know what? I think I probably saw them live at Great Adventure too, because we used to go to. I grew up in Jackson, so we went to all of those shows. So
we saw them with the Foo Fighters.
Oh yeah, open for the Foo Fighters. Nice.
All right. My something good is a podcast called Big Ass Trail Runners.
Do we have to bleep their name on the show?
Maybe. I'm not sure. That's up to the editor. Yes, Big Ass Trail Runners. I found them on Instagram when I was just following a hashtag podcaster or running podcasts of Instagram or running podcasts. I just clicked on the hashtag to see who else is out there, what's going on, and they had just started about 2 months ago.
Yeah, I think they're on like episode 6.
Yeah, and so they kind of seemed like my speed based off of their Instagram. They're kind of casual, everyday runners, and that's what they're trying to do. Kind of what we're kind of trying to do, be for the everyday runner. So they mostly all trail run, so they're trying to get the podcast trail running community. So we've started following with them. They found us because I started following them. They've been listening to us, so maybe we can build a little something, a little community with them. Yeah.
No, I listen to her show every time.
Yeah.
I like it.
Really good. Super casual.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about some really fun stuff also.
Friends.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end. Cue the sad music.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all our family.
Just in closing, thank you all very much for listening. As Erin said earlier, continue to tag us in Facebook and Instagram at We'll Run For Podcast. Please continue to leave comments, share pictures, share your adventures. You can always also email us at willrunforpodcast@gmail.com. We have some new episodes coming out every other Monday. And then, again, if you leave us a 5-star Apple review, I will run 5 miles. I owe someone 5 miles, so that'll happen tomorrow morning. But this is Tom for Erin, Michael, and Diana. We will see you later.
Bye.
Episode 9.
I know, right?
How long have we been doing it? It feels like forever.
6 months.
Well, we're every other week.
90 years.
So times 2. 18 weeks.